We are here with Gary Crandall, owner of GLI Pool Products. Thanks for being here. You have really switched over some things and due to the COVID-19 pandemic and are now making masks. How did that come about?
We reached out early on, weeks before it got intense, to the governor's office, to local congressmen, and said, how can we help? We have cut and sew capability. It's the off season for that equipment. If we can put it to good use, let's do so. And what we found was government was overwhelmed at the time, and we were put on lists. You know, we will put you, thank you very much for reaching out to us. We will put you on a list of those who wish to help. And we learned pretty quickly that if we were going to become involved in this, that we needed to take our own initiative. So one of my executives came in and said, I keep hearing about masks. People need masks, masks, masks. So I've done a little research, and here's a prototype, and we can build it. And we went out, engineered it that afternoon, built our first prototype. It was not difficult to go on the web and find out where the needs were. Quickly found out that University Hospital in Cleveland had an initiative to build and to acquire 100,000 masks. And we used their design as our template, and we contacted them, said we believe we could help, and 3 days later we were in the mask business.
So you're not just providing Mahoning Valley, you're far more reaching.
We're far more reaching, but we worked with University Hospital. They sent us materials that were donated to them to build masks. We quickly learned that we could cut the masks much faster than we could sew the masks, and that's where the community initiative began. So my good friend Mark Gasser from Gasser Chair, very benevolent, wonderful family, he called me 2 or 3 days in when he heard what we were doing and said, I want to help you. I've got a cut table that is a real monster, and it can use up a lot of that cotton you have. So we shared duties there, cutting masks, and then we here at GLI began kitting the masks, and we sew them here with all the resource that we have. But we also said we can cut them so much faster than we can sew them. Let's create sewing kits, take them to the community, and let the community become involved and help us to sew these. And all the ones that the community has been doing here locally have gone out to so many people locally.
So who has stepped up from the community, I guess, to actually do the sewing?
It's incredible. Sewing clubs, church clubs, and individuals. We did it's a couple of Fridays ago that we did our first pickup where we caught on the local news, and we went on social media and we said, go to stay safe at GLIPoolProducts.com, register to pick up some kits. We didn't know what to expect, and the next thing we knew, we had 86 patriots, I want to call them, arrive on the first pickup date and take those masks home. Some took 10, many took 20, some took as many as 500. And they took them back home or to their sewing groups or to their shops, seamstresses and the like. And every day we get about 1,000. We're still averaging about 1,000 kits a day that are coming back sewn. And we try within 24 hours to get that on the face of someone in need.
So how many have actually gone out then to help those first responders or healthcare
right.
workers?
We are right now approaching about 135,000 masks.
That have been distributed?
Right. That's over the course of about the last 3 to 4 weeks.
And do you have a waiting list?
We have a waiting list.
Is it an extensive waiting list, or are
it's
people
not an
able to
extensive
get
waiting list at this point. It certainly was initially. I believe the good news in this is that supply and demand is catching up, and we're seeing the curve go down. We're seeing a lower need from some of the local hospitals. Where the need continues to rise appears to be nursing homes, who appear to be caught unprepared for this, and there's a big need there. So we've been trying to help them out. But we've helped, I think, all the local hospitals, Southwoods, Steward, Mercy, and just so many people have come out, and it's just it's wonderful.
What does it mean to your employees to maybe be doing this during this uncertain time in this time of need?
I think they're proud. We've done it once before. We did it back in the early 90s once during the Gulf War, where we made some other products, but we saw the same type of reaction this time. So the employees are proud, and I'm really proud of the community. I mean, this is GLI we may have lit the match, but the community really built the bonfire, and we couldn't have done it without them. That's really what this is about, is how the community is pulled together.
You said you did it once before for the Gulf War. What were you doing exactly? And I know it's kind of complicated, but there was a great need because of the type of war it was, correct?
Right. It appears as if we were not prepared to fight a war in the desert. We have been fighting all our wars in the jungle. And all of the materials, tenting materials, and the like were all in jungle green camouflage. And when we were in the desert, they didn't work. So we were contacted. A company that we bought fabric from told the government that they thought we would be a good candidate to build what they called modular ammunition solar shades, which covered munitions dumps which were spontaneously combusting in the desert, from what I understand, and also to cover the M1 tanks, where you could fry an egg on the tank treads or on the floor of the tank. It got so hot. So they began shipping this material that looked like milkshakes. We got tired of looking at it after a couple of months. But we built these giant 50 by 50, they were called modular ammunition solar shades, and we also built hex covers which covered the Apache helicopters. So we geared up and we ran those for months and months and months, and it was, to see the military, it was a sight to see. They would come over, they would pick them up in 48-foot trailers, drive them over to the air base, load them on a C-130, and 48 hours later we'd be getting field reports from the desert, making suggestions, tweaking the design and things of that nature. It was, the war machine was very impressive.
And because of this undertaking with the masks, I know that you're releasing a new t-shirt. Is this primarily for your employees to wear? Or?
It is. They haven't even seen it yet. So this will be introduced today. It says GLI Pool Products on the front, and on the back it says, "Doing our part so others can do theirs. Fighting the COVID-19." And then hashtag GLI Cares. So that'll go out to everybody. And we've got a number of t-shirts, and we'll get one of these for the mayor and get it in his collection, because he visits us and wears them. So I think it'll be neat, and I think our people are proud to be part of the initiative, and they'll wear these proudly.
Do you think that you'll be making these masks for a long time to come?
It's not the most sustainable business strategy when we are giving them away and spending a lot of money building them. So I really hope that supply and demand catches up sooner than later and puts us out of business.
And there'll be more companies in the marketplace producing them.
Right. I think companies that are doing it for profit, obviously. It's capitalism. So I do believe that within the next couple of weeks or a month or so that supply and demand will catch up, and that'll put us out of business. And hopefully that means the COVID is dying, and hopefully that'll put us out of business. So we are anxious to get back to making pool products.
Thought Leaders is sponsored by Eastern Gateway Community College. With more than 35 programs, Eastern Gateway can help you with your career preparation and transfer plans.